How do so many people have dogs if they're at work all day? I'm home with my dog all day long and she completely ignores me between 9 a.m. 6 p.m. even if I try to give her attention. She is totally fine on her own when the house is empty. As long as they're house trained, they're happy to just sleep all day until you come home. I used to drive home on my lunch break to walk him. If I got too busy to take a lunch break, fortunately I had a coworker who was a close friend that my dog loved. He would fill in. First off, dogs are crepuscular. It means that sleep throughout the day and night and are active only at early morning and evenings. So as long as they're potty trained and have food, water and toys nearby, they're perfectly content to sleep through the day. In fact, most animals sleep a lot of time. Only in this modern age, humans are enslaved to our work and sleep for less than 8 hours a day. My dog is fine not going to the bathroom for 89 hours while I work. I let her out before I go to work and as soon as I get home. Very rarely, she'll have diarrhea or vomit in the house if she's sick. Besides that, she's potty trained and simply waits until I'm home to go outside. We have a doggy door, they let themselves out when needed. Dogs are perfectly fine chilling at home. Mine goes to work with me, and then proceeds to sleep the entire time. In the country I live in, it's very common to leave their dogs to a pet daycare. So the pets interact with other pets and their bathroom breaks and walks are taken care of by the staff. I've seen more pet daycare around our place than children's daycare. The two dogs in my house are fine being alone with each other and the cat all day. It's pretty unusual for there to be no one home for more than a few hours at a time. But it does happen that they are alone for 89 hours on occasion. I suspect they do the same thing that they do when we are home. One of them gets a toy and taunts the other with it. The other cases the first around the first floor of the house. Then they both stop and play tug of war. Possession changes, and the chase begins again. After a half hour of this, they lay down for 2 hours and then start again. My brother and sister-in-law both work full-time. However, they sometimes work from home. They got a puppy back in late 2020. Although he tends to have attachment issues, he's gotten way better at being left alone at home. They've trained him to last 68 hours, with breakfast at 8 a.m. and dinner at 4 to 305 p.m. They then take him out for a long walk. The dog is acclimated, used to the routine, so it enables them to focus on their work. My dog is trained to do his business on a mat made for that purpose. It absorbs everything and he never misses. My wife works from home 3 days per week. I don't work from home. On the 2 days per week that we are both out, he simply stays home alone. We don't keep him in a cage. I personally find that cruel. We have cameras set up in the house and he seems pretty chill about it. He just lounges around, drinks water, plays with his ball, barks at the window. He doesn't seem that sad at all. Also, keep in mind that dogs on average require a bit more sleep than humans. So there's no harm in them just sleeping during a chunk of the afternoon. When we get home he's super happy and it's business as usual. Spouses or SOs that work different hours. Kids that come home after school, before the parents. Friends who live nearby and are trusted to have keys. All these folks can walk and feed the dog before we get home from our day at work. There are a lot of options that people have already commented. But one thing the owner of an animal rescue once told me that always stuck with me is that a dog is much happier being left alone in a house or crate for 8 hours than being stuck in a shelter or kennel. As long as you are exercising your dog before and after, and treating them, feeding them well, You are doing a good job. I put off adopting a dog for years because I was so worried about that aspect, but in the end the dog has a safe and happy home. Now I'm a dog walker, so my buddy comes with me to work every day, lol, but just something to keep in mind. I have an 11-month-old puppy. I work from 4 a.m. to 12 p.m. I let my puppy out at 2:30. She then goes out at 5:30 when my daughter puts her out. At 9 a.m., my next-door neighbor and her husband come over to let her out and play with her. My neighbor is 89. Her husband is 88. My puppy adores them and they adore her. Her husband has dementia, and every morning wakes up asking to go see his puppy. If I didn't have them, then I would have dog walkers come in, which I have had to use. My dog just goes outside. Occasionally he pisses on the curtains if he is mad about being left alone, but usually he just sleeps most of the day. I have 2 dogs. Large breed. Typically, unless the dog is very young or very old, they don't have an issue holding their bladder for 89 hours. I wish I could see my buddies during lunch, but they seem okay. Doggy daycares are so great. Your dog runs and plays with other dogs all day long. When you pick them up, they are doggone tired. If you are too worn out to take them for a walk, it's okay. They pottied a million times at daycare. Dog walkers and sitters. It's expensive. Dog walkers. Dog hotels. Family members. Doggy doors. Bladders that can hold it for 8 hours. Pee pads, etc. Well, when the dogs come home after a long day of accounting, they just want to be pet. Also, they release us out of our crates.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.